Hello, my name is James Lewis. Are the wages you provide considered a just wage? Now, some may call it an equitable wage, or a living wage, or a righteous wage. But look at Jacob and Laban in their relationship. Jacob had worked for his uncle Laban for a while. Then in Genesis 30, verse 30, it says these words. This is Jacob speaking. The little you had before I came has increased greatly. But now, when may I do something for my own household? You see, Jacob is saying that it's okay to be a recipient, to receive a wage. But Jacob doesn't always want to receive and receive and receive. Jacob also wants to be a giver. He wants to be able to have enough and more than enough to be able to enter the practices of generosity for his family and to others. You see, just like you on the boards who make these decisions, you care about having dental work done for your children. You care about that son who is growing astronomically and eating you out of house and home. You care about maybe putting one little percentage extra in your pension plan. What about that vacation during the summer? Well, just as you care about those things, certainly pastoral leaders and their families care about these same issues. Well, in the New Testament, Jesus in Matthew 21 through 6, it is a parable of the kingdom. And in that parable, Jesus has the landowner saying these important words, "Whatever is right, I will pay." You see, one of the most important issues is not simply that we pay a wage, but is the wage a fair wage, an equitable wage, a living wage? But a second question comes to mind that I think is crucial, that as you are around the table, engage in these conversations dealing with setting pastoral salaries and compensation, this question should always be in your mind. Are you aware that decisions on clergy compensation have spiritual consequences, both for you, but also for pastors and their families? Look at Jacob and Laban again in Genesis 31:42. As Jacob was about to leave the employ of Laban after 20 years, he says these words to his uncle Laban, "If it had not been for God of my father, the God of Abraham, I am certain I would have left this place empty-handed. But God has seen my hardship, and God has seen the toil of my hands, and tonight God rebukes you." In Deuteronomy chapter 24, verses 14 and 15, something similar occurs as the writer encourages those that when they have workers who are poor and needy, to not withhold anything from them. Pay them before night because they are depending on it. Otherwise, they will cry out to God, and God will hear, and God will cause you to be guilty of sin. You see, what we do is more than economic transactions. It is a spiritual reality. It is the reality that what you do around those tables with those young men and young women in ministry, especially, you will discover that what you do and the decisions you make are spiritual in nature. So make sure that the wages you offer are equitable wages, and be sure that your deliberations understand that you are doing spiritual work. May God bless you as you do the work of the kingdom.